start with sharing some slides with you. We've been building something at Annuity.com that we think is special, and I think that the response we're getting from experienced agents is evidence that, in fact, it is. I am new to this space as I've been learning and understanding and interviewing, talking to agents. I'm surprised at how many IMOs are skimming off the top of what agents should be earning. And there are a few agents who've been able to negotiate great deals with their IMOs, but for the most part, we're seeing tremendous growth in the industry, and I'm not sure that agents are benefiting as much from this as they should be. The market's never been bigger, $460 billion in 2025, over 100% growth since COVID. With 11,200 Americans retiring every month, we think that this growth is amazing, but we think that the opportunity is over $2 trillion worth of annual sales if we were to really capture the marketplace and help these retirees, who most of them are retiring now with no pension and in great need of guaranteed income. So, our question to our agents and our guests is, are you right now able to take advantage of this? Do you have an IMO that's helping you with what you're doing? Most IMOs pay you less than you've earned. I'll give you a good example. I met with an agent who told me his annual production was around $10 million. However, he was only earning 250,000 in commissions from that 10 million in production. The truth of the matter is that his full street commission should have been $600,000, which meant that his IMO was quietly keeping $350,000 of the money that the carriers had committed to pay him for finding and developing and servicing their client. This isn't unusual for many IMOs. It's kind of their business model. And we've been really focused on saying, no, we need to do more to care for agents if we want these agents to be able to really help us solve the problem in America and make sure that we get the message out about guaranteed income. So we started from the very beginning. Bill Broach is on this call. Bill has been mentoring me and introduced me to several of our founding leaders who are on this call. And we started asking the question of, well, what would a true agent focused company look like? And so we stopped and from the very beginning said, first of all, they would give agents a release. Right now, agents are trapped because the IMO they're with has to sign a release form in order for them to move their business. If the IMO is not servicing them well, they feel stuck. So we start by giving all of our agents a pre-release. You'll get an email with a signed note on it, and we honor that every time. The second thing we noticed is that most of these agents are retiring with no retirement of their own. I had talked to a journalist who told me about his grandfather and his father, who were both dependent on Social Security because the practices that they had in place didn't afford them the opportunity to be able to really put together a great retirement plan for themselves. And related to this retirement issue is that there's really no ownership. Now, this is something that's been highlighted over the last decade. What you've seen is these large aggregators have come in and started buying IMOs. They're buying as many IMOs as possible. And the president and the owner of the IMO has done really well. They are happy. They're on the golf course, while all of the agents who built that business are sitting there thinking, like, how is that fair? We built this business, and that individual is the one that's benefited entirely from this transaction. So we set out to create a company that solves all of these problems. We want our agents to be empowered, to feel like they can go do whatever they need to do for their business. Agents come to me and apologize and said, listen, I can only get this contract with this IMO. And I'm saying, fantastic. Go sell that product with that IMO. We'll take the business that you have available for us. We're going to do everything we can to earn your business, but we're not going to trap you here. We've also been putting together compensation that's not just narrow commissions, it's broad compensation that we hope communicates the message that we believe the agents are the most important part of our business. What I've learned as a CEO of several companies, having to hire and retain top talent, is that the way a company pays you reveals exactly how much they value you. That's why we built something different. So we start with commission. We want to make sure that you're earned full commission on everything you earn. 100% commission is yours. Now, we do have programs that split the commission in multiple ways. There's some lead providers that are asking for a percent of the commission. There are some programs in team selling where we have an appointment setter and a fact finder and we share commissions between agents. But we start out with our agents are going to get 100% commission. I'll give you a quick example. I had a carrier come to me who doesn't do business through IMOs, but wanted to start that. And they said, we put together this great program that we want to introduce through Annuity.com. And I said, let's talk. And we talked. And at the end of the conversation, I said, I have one question. If our agents would come and contract with you separately, would they make more street commission than they make through us now? And the carrier representative said, yeah, of course they would. We're taking a portion of the street commission we pay to agents and we're paying Annuity.com. And we said, we don't want that deal. We don't want that. We don't ever want to be involved in a deal where we have reduced the amount that our agents can earn. So we're happy for our agents who are selling with you to continue to sell. We're not going to discourage them. We're not going to stand in the middle and take money that belongs to our agents. Now, the cool thing, and I don't know any other company that does this, is we're a very transparent company. All agents start out with the same commission base. Unlike other IMOs, we're not going to do behind the scene deals. We don't do deals. 0.5% here, 0.25% here. Instead, we give every agent the opportunity to be able to participate in full 100% commissions and the opportunity to have an annual bonus program we call the Cap the Company program, which is this. After you produce $5 million in volume, you cap us. We don't cap you, you cap us. So we don't earn any more on you. What happens at that point on is that all of the override passes, or what we call the company dollar, passes through Annuity.com and passes straight to you. And what you'll see is we do have top producers who are with us, 15, 30 million, $12 million producers. And they're here because we think for many reasons, but one of them is because this Cap the Company program gives them the opportunity to earn more than they would normally earn with any other IMO. Now, in addition to this, we have the opportunity for our agents to build virtual teams. We've tried to make it as painless as possible for you to be able to build a virtual team. Why is this important? Because if you go back to the turn of the 19th century, you have John D. Rockefeller, who learned and drove into the Industrial Revolution based upon this idea that he'd rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of his own efforts. And what we have done is we have taken the 50% that an IMO normally spends on recruiting agents. They hire recruiters and marketers. They give them big bonus programs. They give them a budget to wine and dine and bring agents in on tours. We don't do any of that. And sometimes it's a little bit, you're thinking, where's my red carpet treatment? Instead, we're trying to build a company that's good enough that agents will want to tell other agents about it. And by doing that, they begin to build a virtual team. They get paid a little bit on all of those individuals they recruit, but we split that 50% over 7 degrees. In other words, you earn not only on those you recruit, but on those they recruit and on those they recruit. And the law of large numbers means that by time you get to the seventh level, you or the seventh degree, you have literally thousands of agents on your team, and you're earning just a small percentage on each of their volume and each of their percentage. So it starts out small, but it becomes very, very large. And this is the kind of retirement that allows you to stop working, stop personally producing, and you can see your check continuing to come. And many times your check continues to grow as a result of that. So, our agency builder program is, if you will, our answer to your retirement, and it creates an asset that you own. Finally, in terms of ownership, it's not just enough to own your own virtual agency. We want you to own Annuity.com. We want you to be an owner. So we have created an executive compensation program like you would expect if you went to work for any large company and you were one of the senior executives, and we provide a stock ownership program that allow you to benefit for helping build this company. You're building it, you should own it. So at $1 million in production every year, we give you $1,000 worth of stock. If you if you produce 3 million, you get $4,000 in restricted stock awards. In at 5 million, you get $10,000 in restricted stock awards. So for the opportunity to earn $15,000 in restricted stock, which means actual stock in the company that you own and you benefit with real equity in Annuity.com. This isn't a phantom stock program. Some of the large aggregators heard that we were giving stock and they decided, well, we can do that. So they put together a phantom stock program, which was nothing more than just repackaging the bonus program that they had in place. What you'll find is we have a different type of culture at Annuity.com because agents are owners. And agents show up and are willing to help other agents because of that. Now, I mentioned to you this before. We start every agent out with a pre-release letter. Before you write your first case, we send you a signed letter from me guaranteeing your release. If you ever choose to leave, we release your contracts, no questions, no delays. We don't know any other IMO that does this. We want to start from the very beginning on a relationship where you understand that you're in charge. You're not an indentured servant to us. I know that many agents are surprised that we don't call them and ask them about their volume. Where's your volume? You don't hear those kind of conversations with us. We're grateful for your volume. If we get 100% of your volume, fantastic. If you start with Annuity.com, just one of the carriers that you don't have with your current IMO, let us start with one of those contracts and we'll earn the rest of your business. So we have a path for experienced agents who are already selling. Um, we give you over 60 carriers, 2,400 plus products. Your current book of business stays yours. You can run the math on your year one. We think you'll find that we're paying you more and you get the pre-release letter. For new agents, we encourage new agents to come. We teach them how to set appointments and they become an appointment setter. And then they have an opportunity to work with an experienced agent. Now, most of you would think that this is in chronological order. It really isn't. If I'm in a new agent, I'm going to come in and I'm going to learn how to set appointments. And I don't need to worry about anything else. I'm not going to worry about annuities. I'm not going to worry about 401ks. I'm not the expert. I'm going to work with someone who's a senior advisor who is an expert. Then I'm going to learn how to do the fact finder, how to gather all the information, how to develop a relationship, and be able to present that information to someone who can take that information and turn it into a plan. Then I'm actually going to skip phase 3 and 4, and I'm going to go into be learning how to do the application and the paperwork and following through and getting a case closed. By this time, I'm earning 60% of the case. I still haven't learned anything at all about annuities. I couldn't sell an annuity if you asked me to. I'm licensed. I'm kind of exaggerating there. But then I start working with my senior advisor. I start studying, I start learning, and I learn on the job. I learn how to do case design. I learn how to do presentations, and eventually I'm earning 100% of the street commission. This is our approach to helping new agents. Rather than forcing them to study and to learn and to go months and months and months without compensation, um, we start you out right from the very beginning, teaching you things that you can do, and helping you earn. Now, we have three pathways that allow agents to help one another and to engage in the most popular paths towards a consistent business. These pathways include a training center, online training tools to teach you, and a community where you can go in and share your experience and answer questions. We have one for qualified leads. You can bring any leads from any source. Financialize is our preferred partner. We have a seminar pathway for Annuity.com seminars. Amazing seminar program. Roy Snar and his team have developed with the help of mentoring and tutoring of Bill Broach. And they're driving seminar costs below $4,000 and seeing great attendance and great results. And then, as I mentioned, we have a team selling pathway where agents who are experienced can, in essence, get highly qualified leads by sharing that appointment setter commission with a new agent, helping that new agent get up to speed. So these are our core pathways. We just introduced a program for Medicare agents we call RAMP. It's a dedicated pathway to provide Medicare agents the opportunity to start selling annuities. On top of all of this, we are Annuity.com. If you think about the annuity space, this is the one financial decision that if someone will make, it's probably the most significant financial decision in their life because their mountain of money that they've saved all their life, now they're making a decision that really is hard to take back. So in America, trust is usually found in a brand. But when you think about annuities, there isn't a trusted brand. Annuity.com is and is becoming the trusted brands. It's the domain that's been around since the earliest days of the internet. It's one of the most recognized URLs for annuities, especially. What we're seeing is lead pro agents are receiving calls from AI referred clients, not future potential. It's happening today. AI values all that we offer and sees us as distinct from any other annuity provider out there. And we give agents who subscribe to Lead Pro the opportunity to fully benefit from our brand by giving them their own annuity.com subdomain. So brettblake.annuity.com a subdomain so that you have a professional site, you have professional emails. We're giving you great tools available on that site to be able to leverage the brand. We are growing quickly, almost five times faster than the average IMO. We have over 800 agents, and I think it's because agents like Roy Snar are learning that this is more than a selling as a job. This is an opportunity to be able to just make a change, a little change in who you sell with, to unlock ownership and benefits and to be part of something that will be really, really big in the future. Now, there's two ways to join us. You can enroll for free. Obviously, we wouldn't charge you to become one of our agents, get access to our carriers and our community. But we also encourage agents to be able to enroll with Lead Pro because what we've done with Lead Pro is we've taken many of the things that really empower and make an agent's business better, and we bundle it together to try to drive the cost down for our agents. You get a customer relationship management, a done for you newsletter that we send out on your behalf to your clients and prospects twice a month. You get your personalannuity.com subdomain and email, a business phone line. You get listed in the find an agent on our AI referral listing, and you get Tom Hegna on demand, all loaded into one service that you'd pay over $500 for if you bought it separately, and you get it for just $199 a month with Lead Pro. Now, many people say 199 a month is that expensive. Well, the answer is we have Lead Pro is responsible for many new sales made by agents. And what you find is that as you nurture someone who said no initially or didn't answer your phone calls, you put those leads into Lead Pro, and you'd be surprised at how frequently those individuals reach back out and said, you called me a year and a half ago and I wasn't ready, but now I'm serious about my retirement. I want to do something. And just one below average sell of $100,000 pays for essentially 3 years of Lead Pro. So we think it's a great value, and we're doing everything we can to add more and more value. So it becomes a great return on investment for our agents. When you join Annuity.com, you'll kind of have three steps to get going. You'll enroll online. And if you were invited by an agent, they'll send you a link that'll make that process easier. Otherwise, you'll go to joinannuity.com and you'll hit click join. Once you've joined, we encourage you to go through the new Agent Launch Center in the first 7 days. That'll give you an overview of all of the benefits that are available to you with Annuity.com. And we hope that you'll get acquainted with the online Agent HQ so you know what resources we have and where to find it. And then we encourage you to decide how to get focused. Choose a performance pathway. If you're an experienced agent, maybe you'll choose two and join the community, ask questions, say hello, and make sure you go through the training for that performance pathway. Get enrolled, get trained, get focused, and you'll be off with annuity.com. Now we hope that today's presentation is enough for you to be able to say this is probably something I want to try. And if it is, we hope you'll go to joinannuity.com and join us. Uh, or, as I said, if you were invited here today from an agent, we'd encourage you to reach back out to that agent. That agent has a link that he or she can send you with the enrollment that'll make the enrollment process a little bit easier for you. Now, there's a lot of information. I kind of threw a lot at you. And I think what's most important is for you to get a chance to hear from one of our agents who've been with us for a while. Today, I wanted you to hear from an agent who's relatively new to with us and relatively new in the insurance and annuity space. So, uh, Keith, I'm thankful to you to spend a little time with this. And do you mind kind of sharing your experience?
Sure, Brett. I want to apologize to everyone for the hooded sweatshirt today. So we had quite the morning over here in the Callahan household already. We have no heat and no hot water right now. And then the second thing that happened to me this morning, I'm drinking my coffee and I'm like, wow, this tastes really good this morning. My wife said, "Do you know that you're drinking that with whipping cream?" So this is what's going on over here this morning. It's been an adventure already. But yeah, it's been a couple, well, more than a couple months now, since I really started, came in and um, I had zero intention on selling an annuity and just wanted to really build a team and focus on that aspect that Brett talked about. But really have fallen in love with, there's so many things I could talk about, so many things I could touch on, but the thing that's really top of mind right now is I just ran my first seminar through the seminar system, and our kids weren't supposed to be home from school yet. Let me go to another room real quick. So I just ran my first seminar through our seminar system, and we spent $3,000. It was exactly what you talked about with Roy. We spent $3,000 setting that up, and the capacity for the room was, all right, I'm settled in now. So the capacity for the room was 55 people. That's fire code capacity, right? So I talked with Roy's team and let them know that, and they said, okay, well, it's usually around a 20% show rate, right? So if we keep the registration numbers right around 100, you'll be fine. So we set up we set up classroom style, which if you know you're setting up a room classroom style, it's going to fit a lot less than fire code suggests. 10 minutes into the presentation, the library had to put a sign on the door telling people that, sorry, the room is at capacity. We were at 55. It looked like a nightclub. There were people, there were people all over the place, standing in the back row, standing at the door. We had people that were literally in chairs right next to me where I was presenting. Um, all that to say, this is it's not easy. Doing a presentation isn't easy. And people come in to this industry with different backgrounds, different experiences, different financial means. And, Roy's team said, do six of these. Just keep going. Just keep doing it. If you do six of these in 3 months, you're gonna need to hire an assistant because you're gonna be processing so much business. So even though there were so many things that came up with it, I really felt prepared. And don't get me wrong, I put a lot of time into studying, a lot of time into preparing for this, but the tools were there for me to be prepared. The presentation was there, the marketing was there. Bill Broach is on the call. Everything from the color of the sheets, the pencils, the what colors to wear when you're presenting. So every single piece is thought of. And again, it's not easy, it's not simple. You're going to have to put time and effort into learning it. But if you're willing to do that, and if you're willing to kind of go out there, stumble around a little, figure things out. Um, so that's just one of our pathways. And again, there's so many different things I could talk about with annuity.com and why I'm here, why I'm excited. But that experience over the last couple of weeks, and now we're tweaking it. We've got another one coming up in 2 weeks. We've got another one coming up after that. I feel prepared. I feel supported, and yeah, I'm excited and confident about the seminar system and where it's going.
Fantastic. Exciting. You need a bigger room.
We've got a bigger one coming up.
That's great. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate your time today. Um, well, we hope this gave you a good introduction to annuity.com, and you may have questions. So I'm going to turn the time back to Amy and let Amy respond to any questions for us. You're on mute, Amy.
Thank you. So please, as Brett mentioned, go to joinannuity.com. We have great options there. We've actually revised the site to give you more information. So please go there to get more information. We've also started our Fast Start program. I wanted to point that out. If you start and complete all of our onboarding pieces within the month, we'll reimburse you $100 of that Lead Pro price of $199. So we have some great opportunities to get started and really get going with us. So we welcome you to do that. With that, does anyone have any questions? Did anything come up for you that you wanted to talk with this group about?
Well, we either answer all their questions or put them all to sleep. One or the other, Amy.
That works too. Hopefully you're not all napping behind those screens. But thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful week, and please please pass on this information. We would love to see more of you here next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.